Yes, guys, welcome back to the Once You're In podcast. We have part two of the Two Bros, One Bro Pro show review. This is going to be the female section, and we have a special guest on. We had Brandon on the male section. We have a special guest on the female section. You'll see again in the thumbnail and the title. It's Lizzy. So Lizzy will be on in a few minutes' time. Before we get on to Lizzy's class, and we'll just chat through figure when Lizzy comes on. We weren't at the female section, so we spoke in the last podcast about the price. We went to the male section, and then we went to train, and we also didn't want to spend another £50 for the female section. So we do apologise. We don't actually have that much information on the female section. We don't have our own experience of it, but the bikini pro card winner was Selena. She's coached by. Do you remember this guy?
Yeah, I
Coach
don't know. Was
used to be
he coached
coached
by
by.
AJ?
Yeah, used to be coached by AJ before he went enhanced. He's a really
Yeah,
nice guy, Christian.
I haven't seen this dude in years, mate. I feel like I haven't seen him since like
Yeah, he's
2022.
built up
But
a really good following. He's built up a really good
yeah,
following. He's a good coach. He's a really nice
yeah,
guy. So yeah, it was his client. She looks great, really good. Obviously, didn't see her in person, but she looked really, really good. Um, Other people that we spoke about in the last show in the regional, Sophie PD, coached by Big Nate Styles. She came third in that class, and the
yeah.
class that this girl won, and obviously went on to win the overall. Um, I saw that Lauren Dexter, I said that she was competing. Obviously, we didn't see, but she's switching now to doing wellness. I guess that's just the plan for the long term.
Yeah.
But again, we didn't see her. So, was there anyone else worthy of mentioning or anyone that you know that did
Uh,
it?
Off the top of my head, no. That's not was being rude. I feel like out of the Anya, she won her class, didn't she?
Anya, yeah,
Can't forget Anya.
yeah, Sanaya's in the background.
Tonight I just said, of course, she mentioned Andy. Can't forget Anya.
It's all that's in
Uh,
his head.
yeah. Of course, I can't forget Anya. I knew exactly how she placed. I knew exactly that she won. God, imagine she's never actually listened to the first bit and she just hear that. She'd be like, what the fuck
So
is
she
these
won
two
her
people saying?
class, yeah,
Yeah, she won. Yeah, she won her
and got
class. She's
beaten. Yeah,
coached by Meg, I'm pretty
yeah, she
sure.
coached by
Do you
Meg.
know?
Yeah, spoke about it last
Yeah.
time. She coached by Meg. Right. Let's. I'm gonna send the link to Lizzy.
Okay.
Let me. Sorry, guys. We're doing all this live, and Lizzy can tell us what went on. So basically, we spoke about
Yeah.
Lizzy before. So she's still natty
We
as
we,
well.
we accused her. We accused her of her maybe handing in a natty status.
But
So
she hasn't.
yeah, she hasn't. So we should have done like a natty or not. Be like natty or not. We both said probably not natty anymore. But that being said, it was elite coaching by Michael Fox,
Exactly.
TBF by Fox. Peaked her to perfection. Elite coaching
To
makes
be
you look
fair,
natty. No, makes you look not natty when you're natty.
she's very, very good. Ridiculous. So
Yeah,
she's 21, natural, wins a pro card. Ridiculous.
yeah,
Ridiculous scenes. Yeah, she really does not look natty.
yeah.
That's ridiculous, isn't it? Like,
She's a joke, mate. You haven't got it on the screen, but like,
oh,
yeah.
have I
For
not?
people that don't know, yeah,
Sorry,
you're
guys.
not
Sorry,
going.
guys.
Finch is
I've
like, this
just
is
been on her
ridiculous.
Instagram for like 2 minutes.
Yeah. So yeah, she's a joke. She's like very, very, very good. It'll be interesting to know. I want to ask her about her plans moving forward because obviously, like, as a natural athlete, is she just going to try and take it as far as she can? But like, realistically, like, how is she going to do in the pro leagues if she is like wanting to stay natty?
Based on how
Like,
far she's
again,
got, if so young as well, like potential is ridiculous. It's one of those like, why would you go down that route yet with what you've achieved?
yeah. This is like Project Mbappe, isn't it? Like
I was looking
99% sure.
through some of her old I just thought like I've not seen any training clips from her. So I like scrolled down and saw her old training and she was like pulling 150 and she's from like a powerlifting background.
So stronger than you.
Oh yeah, low stronger than
Yeah,
me.
yeah,
Right,
fair
she's
enough.
in the waiting room.
Let's get her on. Let's get her in. Once you're in, you're in.
Once you're in. I almost said that to Brandon on the last one.
Right, let's see if it's as seamless as getting Brandon on. Mic's off.
I
Yeah.
think it's quite good just getting people on it being live straight away. Throw them in at the deep end. Lizzie, if you can hear us, we're live.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello, can you turn your phone side on if you're on your phone? Well, it looks like
Or if it's your laptop, just turn your laptop side on. That'd be fine.
turn off the rotation thing. It should work. There we go.
There we go.
Perfect. Right. Hello. First of all, nice to meet you. Thank you for coming on the podcast. We are live.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. If you say anything that you don't want us to have in, just tell us and we can always cut it out. So it's live, but we can edit it after. So basically, you've kind of taken the world by storm by winning your pro card yesterday. We've just been saying, so we were at the show for the male section, but we didn't stay for the female section because we didn't want to spend another £50. So
It was a long day as well, though, wasn't it?
well, we kind of want you to fill us in on how it went, what happened, how you're feeling now. Obviously, I know it's a bit mental and it's all like happened so quickly. So please just feel free to give us a rundown as to how everything went yesterday.
Don't know where to start. It's like the person who usually does my makeup, she had to work, so she couldn't be there. So I had to have my makeup done by someone else, and it just like stressed me out because I usually get my makeup done in the morning, and then had my tan done late, and then we were waiting because there was like a massive situation, which I'm sure a lot of people have heard about. And then yeah, like after the bikini, we were waiting an extra hour to go on stage. So we were told to pump up an hour before going on, which was just insane. But it was so good. Like everyone backstage, like running it, they were like really good this time around, like looking after us. So I was quite happy with that. And then got on stage and did my thing.
So
I did mess up my eye walk. I was fuming.
Oh, did you? So
What did you do?
Yeah, go on.
I went basically the head judge because I was in open class A because I'm so short. Like I'm usually on my own. So the head judge obviously like wasn't mad interested in my eye walk. He just wanted to see my quarter turns. So he wasn't really watching my eye walk, which just threw me off massively. Yeah. So I just like my
head down, taking notes, and you're just like, I'm here. Please look at me. I want to win.
Yeah, you want the eye contact, don't you, with the judges? That's what you go for. But no, it was all right. He's so nice to speak to because he remembers me from last season. So he's like seen my improvements, which is cool.
So
Yeah,
obviously
definitely.
you competed last year, and it wasn't even that long ago. So you competed. What shows did you do last year?
So I did UKDFBA in September. That was like a last minute jump in as my first show. Did the Two Bros TBF takedown mid-September, and then did the Gymshark Pro qualifier in October.
And
And that was
then
it.
from there, were you like, right, the plan is to compete again, like April time?
No. So with my previous prep, like I just went kind of wrong by the end. And I just like really struggled with it. So Michael Fox, he called me like a couple days after the pro qualifier. And he like set out like a roadmap for me. And then he said that he's going to Sweden for a pro qualifier, which is in 2 weeks. And like that was meant to be my first show this season, which I'm now not competing in.
Yeah, there's no point.
Not allowed.
Yeah. So your plan now is just to go into off season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had my feedback, which is like I've got really good like shape and structure. I just need like wider lats, more density through the quads. And like obviously just be dense everywhere really.
So when did you start training? I was saying to Reese before you came on, like I'd not seen any training clips from you because I've only recently like followed you from like what in the last however long few weeks. So I was like scrolling back.
We wanted to get you on the podcast. Neither me and Finn knew who you were until you won your pro card, and we're like,
Since like 2 weeks ago. No, when we knew who you were from doing the UKDFBA show, but we obviously did the review like 2 weeks ago, and obviously you won then. But then I was scrolling back and I was having a look through, and then obviously I was like finding some of your training from. It looks as though you used to like do powerlifting.
Yeah, that's where I've built all my muscle.
So when did you start training, or when did you start like even like powerlifting?
So I started powerlifting 20, what, I don't know, like 2021. I think I did that for a year and I competed. Um, Went to uni, got ill, dropped out of uni, and then decided to start bodybuilding. So I haven't actually had like a full off season,
That's crazy.
which yeah, like I've said that to people and they're like, "What the hell?"
It is
So
ridiculous.
like,
Isn't it? Like it is like you're just meant to do it.
yeah, but it goes to show that lifting heavy, like just lift heavy and train hard, like with intensity, and you get your
100%.
muscle.
100%.
Also,
Yeah, I saw that.
you can grow in prep. Like, I think a lot of people overstate like the last maybe week or two. Okay, but realistically, when you're 10 to 12 weeks out, if you're still training hard, you can definitely be growing, especially if you match that with, let's say, not missing a beat, really good genetics. Like, you will be able to still make progress. So even though you've not had a time in like a massive surplus, like it's not really too much of a surprise, to be fair, to hear that you like have, like, let's say, this baseline level of strength. You've then been able to probably, let's say, been like fine-tuned with, let's say, higher volume, actually bodybuilding oriented training, and as a result you look the way you do. That's not really too much of a surprise to hear, but I think most people would hear that and go, oh my god, no off season, how have you even got any muscle at all?
Yeah, just
No,
train
I think
ridiculously
it's
hard.
like genetics as well, but also like I am so short, so that I'm like obviously if you're taller, it's so much harder to fill out your frame. Like I'm quite lucky being small because I just look
How
thick.
tall are you?
5'1",
Okay.
or just under 5'1".
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is ridiculous. Like we said, didn't we? Like we didn't think you were still natty.
Yeah, we pulled the natty or not, and we were like, probably not natty.
I will say, like I did, so I'm not like fully natty. I did use Clen in this prep,
Okay.
but
But
that's not obviously it's not an anabolic
yeah,
steroid. I haven't grown my muscle
just
Yeah.
with
helping
it.
you get leaner.
Yeah.
Still androgen natty. Do you mind if we ask? You don't have to answer, but do you mind, obviously, because Pro League is a bit of a big step up. Have you even thought? But I'm guessing you probably haven't really had too much time to even think. But if, let's say, the case is, let's say, when you're next on stage, will it be where you go all in, or are you just going to see how you can take it without androgens? Are you going to just keep doing what you're doing? Because it's not like it's not working, but then at the same time, there is a big step up,
I think to be competitive in the Pro League, like it is
needed.
like unless you're a genetic freak, it is like a necessary requirement. So like me and Michael have spoken about it enough times, and I am happy to obviously take it.
Yeah. No,
I'm
fair enough.
excited.
Yeah, you got to be like I think as well. Like I've always said as well. Like for someone like you with the potential that you have, like it makes complete sense.
Yeah.
Like if you've already won a pro card at 21 years old, naturally, I almost don't I don't think there's a rush. Like you're still so young and you could still make so much progress naturally. But in the long term, like you say, realistically, if you want to be at the top tier of the sport, you're gonna have to do it.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy to do it because like obviously with Michael's experience, he's very like careful like when applying stuff like this. So like I know like there's the empathy and the care of that, and he's going to
Yeah.
be careful with me.
Yeah.
And
And
it's
then,
like
oh, sorry, Ben, you go ahead.
I was gonna say, like with your genetics anyway, like and how much the progress you've made so far, you're not gonna need like it's not as if it wouldn't surprise me if you're ridiculously respondent to it and you're using such
Yeah.
small doses and you just continue to make ridiculous progress because you're
We
already
have
everything else.
Yeah, we have said like minimum. We'll go for like the minimum dosage
Yeah.
just to see how I respond to it.
So when are
Because
you
like
looking
there's
to actually start?
no idea, but I think we're gonna have a call on Tuesday to like map out what's next.
Yeah.
But yeah, looking for a pro debut in the US, which would
That'd
be
be cool.
sick.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
I really want to.
And, I mean, I can't remember who it was, but someone was mentioning to me like the pro shows they were doing. They were like New York Pro or Boston, and I was like, it just sounds so much cooler. Like, imagine being like, oh, I'm going to do the Two Bro Pro in Maidenhead next year, or I'm going to do the New York Pro, or something like that. Like, it's just like it's a completely different vibe. Like, if I was a pro, it'd be like, okay, UK, nope, let me fly away, let me go somewhere else.
I feel like US bodybuilding is just like completely different to the UK as well, though.
Yeah,
Like, just another level.
yeah.
The
Hopefully, they don't charge
shows,
£50
I'm gonna
for
say,
and evening.
and the show's not in a PE hall. Powerlifter 135, 80, 155, 370. So you still think you're still claiming to be a powerlifter on your Instagram?
Yeah, that needs a update.
It needs updating to IFBB Pro.
You haven't even put IFBB Pro. Lizzy,
That's it.
you're the slowest person ever. Usually, this is the first thing people do. They get off stage and it's instantly in the bio. It's the first thing they do when they pick up the phone.
No, I've had people message me. I don't actually. Someone literally sent me a screen recording earlier of how to change your name because I don't know how to change your name on Instagram.
That is mental.
It's just embarrassing.
So
So
plans moving forward.
yeah, go
Obviously,
on.
yeah, you mentioned like obviously the ped side of things, and obviously you said you're going to map out with your coach Michael. Is there a
Mhm.
rough idea in your head? Or you think because if you've not had much of an off season, are you thinking like maybe let's say next year, late this year, 2026? Like where's your head at when it comes to how things are? Because you've been on it for now a good amount of time when it comes to obviously late last year shows, early this year shows. When are you just going to go with vibes? You're just going to see how things go? Like, where's your head at when it comes to next time you're on stage in a pro lineup?
I don't know because I do want to be like a completely different look.
Yeah.
And I was like, you don't know how long that's going to take. So I'd say a year and see where we are. Some people have said to me like it will probably take me 2 years to be, because like obviously every year like the levels just get like increased and better.
Yeah.
So to be competitive in that, because I would want like a first call out or like a top 5.
It's
I don't
good that
think
you
that's
should
honestly,
like.
yeah,
Yeah,
I don't think that's a bad thing to say.
I think
Like obviously the
aim
step ups,
high.
I think as a pro, like it's very different because in the amateurs, you every single amateur who's decent goes into every single show being like, I should win, I need to win. But your mindset has to change when it's pros. It's like you'll probably celebrate a fourth or a fifth way more than you probably celebrate an amateur win because the standard's so much higher. But like if you were to see, let's say if I'd never seen you and I saw like this UK DFBA photo here, and you were to be like, right, somebody has 3 years of that with, let's say, 3 years on top of that with a year or so of assistance, I'd be like, yeah, cool. That's going to be fucking ridiculous. That's going to be a stupid look because you look enhanced here, like your upper body, your
Yeah, I
delts and your
got a
arm.
lot of hate for that. Like entering that
Did
show,
you get
so much
did you get
hate
drug
for it.
tested? Did you get
Yeah, they
tested?
made me test. So I was dehydrated for 25 hours, had nothing, like no fluids, 25 hours. And they were like, we need you to pee in a cup. I was like, you having a drink. It was just the worst
I'm not.
timing.
They'll have 100% been like, yeah, she's not naive.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
you
I've
just
got comments.
like there's some people obviously you can just like it just there's a lot of natties. Well, the top natties don't look natty.
Yeah.
Like, and when you hear stories about like Keon and it's like, oh yeah, he won his pro card natty, and it's like, what? Like, and you see photos of him and you see photos of Phil Heath when he was like 14, you're like, yeah, he's not natty there, but he is. He's like 14. That's what you are. Like, at least like in this photo, it's like, what? Like, that's mental. Like, obviously you went in to do figure, didn't you? And like they pushed you up.
Yeah, so literally before like I went on the stage, for like the award thing, they said to me, they're like, when you come off, we need to talk to you. And I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? So went on, obviously didn't get awarded for figure, and I was actually like devastated. I thought I was gonna cry on stage, but and
Well,
then they
that
like,
was that was the figure class, wasn't it? That Abby won,
yeah,
and even
um,
Abby's ridiculous. And like in comparison to Abby, you look huge. Like here,
the look she had in Romania. I think she messaged me yesterday, and I said to her about her look in Romania. Like she looked insane,
yeah, she's really good.
ashy. I was like, wow.
So going in, like, what did you expect for your first ever show? What were you thinking? Were you like, oh, I'm really good, or I might struggle, or what were you thinking?
I do it every time backstage. I look at all the other girls, and I'm like, I don't belong here, because like I look down and like my abdomen and my legs, and I'm just like, I look fat. Like I don't see any lines, and I just get really in my head.
Isn't
But
it weird? We were literally
then,
we were saying that, weren't we? When we had Matt on, we were saying the same thing. Like, I think I've never heard anybody say anything other than that. Like every single person says the same thing back.
Anybody who's good, anybody who wins the show, the ones who usually are like, I'm fucking awesome. They're the ones that are like dead last.
Yeah, if you're backstage thinking you're the dog's bollocks, you're probably shit.
Yeah, you're probably the one that everyone else is looking at, and they're like, spilled, bit fat.
So when they pushed you into physique, were you just like, did you think? Obviously, I had to go and do loads of different poses.
yeah, so I'd been like practicing those poses because I was considering doing a PCA show, which I just didn't end up doing in the end. Never done abs and thigh, but I like to think I smashed that.
Went for it.
But yeah, I was quite happy because obviously I won that, and that was my first show as well. So
Ridiculously good. And then you what? So after what was your show after that? Was that when you did the
the
train?
two row PBF takedown, yeah.
So you were already coached by Michael at this point.
No,
Okay.
I
So
was coached by like another lady.
who were you coached by, if you don't
I
mind?
like Gemma Stania. I don't know if she's still coaching now,
Oh yeah, she's here. Okay.
but
What? And then after this show, did you move over to Michael?
no. So it was after the Gymshark show.
Okay.
How did that? You said that was a bit of a mess. Like, what happened towards the end? Was it just a bit of a car crash towards the end of the prep?
So my previous coach, she was like going for her pro card last season. She did like three pro qualifiers back to back weekends. So she traveled from like South America to Europe to the UK. Obviously, like people are gonna hold water most likely in that. And there was just like issues of both of us competing in the same show. So it was personally for me, it wasn't a very good experience.
Yeah.
But like I'm glad it happened.
Yeah, everything happens for a reason. Obviously, you've like got a really good relationship with Michael, haven't you? I saw your post that you did earlier.
Yeah.
We need to get him on. We said we'll get him on.
Yeah. He'd love
Yeah.
that.
Talk about him after Saps.
Whereabouts are you based?
Like Somerset in the southwest.
Okay. Yeah, because Michael's obviously like we're very close. Like, does Michael live in Derby or near there?
Oh yeah, like just outside.
Yeah, it'd be easy to get him on. It would be good. It'd be good to chat about this as well.
Yeah. Whenever we see him, we always get a really hard fist bump that like really fucking hurts, or like a hug. There's no.
He loves a hug. To be fair, doesn't he? He does love a hug.
Or really, a fist bump where you like it's a punch, and I'm like,
I
hey.
usually get this. He usually does this to me. He usually picks me up. I don't have a pro card, but he usually picks me up.
Oh really?
Yeah,
I don't get that.
he can't pick you up.
Oh yeah, I'm too heavy.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
right. Shall we leave it there? Have you got any other questions, Reese?
Yeah, prep wise, like what was the like last bit? How low did your food get? What was like was there any toughest parts? Like how much did your cardio get up to? Like because obviously if you had a short off season, I'm guessing you didn't start prep too fat. So like where did the lowest point get to food and cardio wise, like highest amount?
Like training days, it was like 1,200 calories, I think. I think
Okay.
like 120 carbs on training days. And then it got down
Yeah.
to like 55 rest days, which was like way better than my last prep. And then cardio it got to is either like 5 times 50 or 5 times 60. It wasn't too bad. I actually quite enjoyed this. Like I've really enjoyed this prep, to be honest.
You've
98% of
had
the time I
like
was
when you've had a bad experience, it just like when you have a decent prep, it just feels smooth, doesn't it? And you just crack on, do as you're told.
so much easier, 100%. Yeah.
Right. I
Yeah,
don't think
good.
there's anything else we need, unless there's anything. Is there anything you want to leave us with? Where can
No, I
people
don't
find
think
you?
so.
I've had your Instagram
Pardon?
up for about 20 minutes. Lizzy.Ryder on Instagram, guys, if you don't follow her.
Just going through my powerlifting.
Also, just before we go, I mean, you don't have to comment on it if you don't want to, but what did you see yesterday with the whole thing with Michael de Bull? Because you said obviously it left you like you were waiting for like an hour. Like, did you actually see what went on, or was it just like, oh, something's happened, we have to wait? Because obviously it impacts like your
We
experience.
didn't know. We just thought the Bikini Pro show was taking ages. Like we just thought it was that competitive. They were just like turning them for ages.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't see until afterwards. I don't really understand what happens because obviously there's like two sides to every story.
Yeah.
So
It's a shame as well, because like really, like obviously it doesn't take away from like the show or your win or anyone else's win, but also like that's what people are talking about now. When really they should be talking about just the show and the athletes doing well.
yeah, well, I think it's really hard for Two Bros because they are like they run IFBB in the UK and now like in Scandinavia and like Europe and stuff. I think it's quite harsh on them when it's not their fault. Like, it's the security and how they responded
Yeah.
to the situation. Like they know the rules on how to approach a situation like that.
Yeah, it looks bad on them when it's just people that they've employed as security. It's not actually Two Bros.
Yeah, I think they're just struggling with that at
Yeah,
the moment. But
it
it's
does
a
look bad.
shame.
Yeah. Right, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much for coming on. We do appreciate your
Thank you for
time.
having
Sorry
me.
it was a little bit late as well because it was delayed. So thank you for taking your time out on a Sunday night.
That's
But yeah, all the best for future shows. I look forward to seeing you off season. And if you're ever up in Derby to see Michael, let us know. We can get you into the studio and actually have you on and have like a proper chat. Or we can get a session in. That would be cool. But yeah, we will
yeah.
definitely keep an eye on your progress because you're going to be very, very good. You already are ridiculously good. So yeah, it's going to be good. Actual off season, you actually have time to grow.
Yeah. Thank you. See
No worries. Thank
Cool.
you.
you later.
Right.
We're back.
Sorry, guys. I ended the whole meeting. I meant to just remove Lizzy, but I ended the whole meeting. So that was good.
You were too busy flirting, mate, saying, "Oh, you're so good. You're
No
so
good.
good."
I know. Shannon went
Shannon,
downstairs. So I thought,
Shannon went downstairs and Finn was like, "I'm a time to shoot my shot. I can
yeah.
spot some serious potential."
Lizzy, honestly, you're really good. Like, let us train together.
Yeah, let us train together. It's either going to bag me a girlfriend or a new client, please.
We'll train together. Oh, Reese hasn't turned up to the session. I've told you I'm training somewhere else.
Yeah, and it's a private gym, and it's actually we're then going to the cinema afterwards. And there's also a Nando's.
Yeah. That's all right, isn't it? Yeah? That's what we plan to do.
Yeah.
No, let's be serious. She is very good. She's really, really good. Like, it's you know what I think is quite cool, and like even with Brandon, like we're getting people on the podcast like early on in their career where
Yeah.
it wouldn't surprise me like in the long term where we're like, oh, do you remember when we had them on the podcast before they became this or that? Or like because they've both got like huge potential.
Yeah. Oh yeah, mate. Like, if you were to say to me like Brandon's on at the Olympia in like 3 or 4 years, I'd be like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you know,
And
it
it wouldn't
wouldn't.
surprise me like the amount of progress that Lizzy could make going
Yeah.
enhanced, spending a couple of years off, like it's going to be ridiculous. So yeah, any
Meanwhile,
other notes?
we're just going to be here doing podcasts where like I'm going to be like 1 foot in the grave.
You're all right. You're not bad.
I'm okay.
I'm
Like,
awful.
no, because I'll eventually be a pro, but I'll just be like a
You'll be a
320
really
pound
bad one though.
power in a month. I'll just be like your second call outs in like in the New York Pro, but I'll be like, I'll be all right, I'll be a pro. And
You won't
meanwhile, you'll
be.
just be like that like bodybuilder who does like a redemption season prep in 6 years when you finally like can handle it. And you'll be
No,
like,
I
oh, fuck
won't be
it.
that. I'll just be that guy that does that podcast.
Well, you would just be a podcast host.
And they were like, did he even train? I wonder who is he? Why did he
You'll
do that
be full
podcast?
without the $1 million supplement company and
Yeah.
without the bodybuilding credentials. That's what we'll be, or you'll be.
I didn't know
I'll
who
be at least.
Fuad was when I first started watching the Real Bodybuilding podcast. I was like, who's this Fuad guy? That's what I know. But,
Yeah.
but like you say, I actually don't have anything to back it up.
You've got a coaching company that's decent.
Oh yeah, very good. Not
Yeah,
decent,
you're good.
very good. Apply below.
Yeah,
My
below, please.
my
Lizzy,
ring light's looking a bit
space,
bright.
space available, Lizzy? Space available?
Right, is there any other worthy mentions? Did Sanaya do some research for us?
No, it's not any research.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
No,
somebody won wellness, but
yeah.
again
Congratulations.
we weren't there. We weren't there to see that. So apologies, we've not actually given much of a review on the female section, but like we say, we weren't there, and I'm not going to blame Two Bros, but like PCA for example, we can do a full review from all the reels. Two Bros, they're not giving us the information that we need.
Yeah. Step it up.
Yeah, just one more thing, just to put them down. Okay.
Yeah.
We haven't
Oh,
done
what
it
that
enough.
final thing. Yeah, mate. Yeah, my career is done. Like, Sanaya literally said in between, you need to be careful, Reece. You are saying a lot of bad stuff about Two Bros, and I said, there's so much bad stuff you can say. I am like a droplet into the ocean at this point. Like, they do not care about what I'm gonna say. You know.
I also think if you're good enough to win your pro card, you'll win your pro card, whether they try not to give you one or not. You know what I
And I
mean?
will, as well. I don't think I will do a regional, but I don't think I'll ever do a pro qualifier in the UK based off. I don't want to win a pro card in a PE hall. I'm sorry, like that I want to win it on a wicked stage. Like, it's a shame, but it's just a bit naff in it in comparison. But fair play, winning a pro card's winning a pro card, but and it's cost effective. But winning it in a leisure centre in a PE hall with 10 rows of chairs, asking your mum and dad to potentially pay 50 quid for morning and evening, or like, male and female, it's a joke. It's shit, in it. So,
Yeah. Just be careful though. Be careful what you say. But say all that.
it is.
But be
It's
careful.
naff. It's naff. It could be a lot better. Like, I'm not saying it's. I'm just being objective. It is.
No, that is literally what the podcast is about, is that we'll say it as it is. We do it about all the federations. Neither of us have any connections with any federation.
Other than Mr. Gay England, we've both got big shares.
We've both got lifetime memberships with Mr. King.
we run the whole thing. We literally
It's actually our federation. Right.
Yeah, honestly, apply for one. You have to send photos naked.
Let's wrap it up. Wrap it up. Come on, wrap it up.
Right, there we go, guys. That's that. Hopefully everyone's enjoyed. Is this going to be? It's going to be two parts. Like, is this going to be the outro to the second part?
Yeah. So two separate parts. We've got the one with Brandon and the male section. If you haven't watched that, go and watch that. We brought that out yesterday. And then this one. So I'll be posting them day after each other.
Yeah, cool. Right. Hopefully everyone enjoyed. We need to do another one of the PCA show that was today. Yeah, we'll have to find time to do that.
We'll do that tomorrow night.
Yeah, this is just we're literally now full-time podcasters. So yeah, hopefully everyone's enjoyed. Please subscribe, like, comment, all that jazz. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye.